Hello, everyone. My name is Melissa Forziat, and it's time for another message from Melissa. This month, I wanted to talk about the idea of building on your mistakes. This may seem like a weird idea, but go with me on this. As somebody who's done a lot of improv, I typically have done improv in situations where it's just a playful session, not performing, not, being paid to improvise, but just, going and having some playtime and then going home and really learning what that felt like. And when I first started doing it, I didn't really know how to do that. I was such a perfectionist, and I was always somebody who had to plan ahead for moments, especially if I was doing new things in front of other people. I always felt like I had to plan ahead. And I learned very quickly that in improv, that's not a thing that you can do. You have to roll with what you're given in a moment. And sometimes the things that we look at as mistakes were the very best possible opportunities in that environment. I remember this one time I was doing a scene. There were three of us doing this scene. And we started a new scene, and somebody else and I were on stage together, and I made a decision to pretend like I was riding a horse on a carousel. So I was holding onto a pole and I was starting to do that motion of riding on a carousel, and I was starting to sort of follow a track around the edge of the stage. And the other person saw that I was riding a carousel, but unfortunately, he picked the wrong direction. He picked a direction that was crossing through my carousel instead of going around in a circle. The third person in the scene came onto the stage, and he saw that we were both doing a carousel motion, but that we were doing it wrong. And so he comes in as somebody who's, riding a different horse in a completely different direction that didn't work with any of it. And by the end of the scene, he threw in this line, "I have no idea how this carousel works." And it was a long form scene. So as we stayed on the stage, more different things were happening, new scenes were happening. And every single time, this third guy would come in from different directions, through windows, from off the stage, from 3D, and he would just come in on a carousel going the wrong way, saying, "I don't understand how this carousel works." And it was the funniest thing that happened. I still remember it. Of all the things that had happened on an improv stage that I was part of, it's one of the things that I remember the most, because he celebrated the mistake. It was the best part of the day. It was the best thing that happened. And he didn't just take it, he took it and ran with it. He built upon a mistake to make something great out of it. And I think that's something that we can do a lot more than we think we can. Sometimes we get worried about mistakes, or we're afraid of failure, but you may not realize that from that mistake, something new can be born. The question is, what? If we look at every mistake as an opportunity for something new, what more room does that give us to grow from it and to embrace it? So I hope that you'll think about that this month. I know I'm going to try to think about that this month, and just imagine, what can you build from the mistakes that happen in your world? Hope you have a great month. I'll talk to you again next time. Bye.